Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran with Yanzi Lin. And guess what, guys? Cancel culture strikes again. Here we are today. And I guess in this situation, am on the wrong end of the cancel stick. As we were supposed to, Nine Lives Comics had applied. Me and John Malin had approached Reed for C2E2 and other cons too to get an exhibitor booth. Nine Lives Comics was going to put Starlight Cats and Glorious Rex books like Graveyard Shift and Godlike up on display. And of course, Ethan Van Sciver was one of the artists that was also included in this. Now, we're going to talk about this, but again, this is kind of a touchy subject. And I just got the email from them the other day. Now, we had applied for this way back when, Yanzi.
All right, so let me give a brief timeline to you guys. We spoke to a representative at Reed Exhibitions way back in July, all right, of 2023. We signed the paperwork for the booth in August, and then we paid the deposit then as well. Now we paid the second half of the deposit in January this year. Now, throughout all this time, we've been receiving regular communications from them, just like any other exhibitor would, telling us things like, okay, these are the things you need to do as an exhibitor. Here's an exhibitor pamphlet, blah, blah, blah. We're basically in every line of communication with them. And we were even invited to put up our company profile on their website, which you guys will have noticed has been taken down. Now, for about 2 whole weeks, our company profile set up there with Ethan, John Malin, and Shane Davis all listed in there. And suddenly, for some reason, that's a problem.
So what first started off as an email that said, hey, guys, we have to get on the phone. We're like, hey, can we keep this in email? And they're like, no, you have to call us. And we ended up with a phone call that was sort of spicy. We were being yelled at that we broke terms of service we were accused of subleasing the booth, which we bought the booth. When you buy an exhibitor booth, you get 10 to 11 badges that come along with it, because if you're an exhibitor, you have to have people helping you manage the booth. It comes with it. That is the package. Every exhibitor, it gets at least 11 badges. And you can buy extras too, but 11 are handed to me. So, I mean, I'm not 11 people. Me and Yanzi are only 2. So those badges are going to go to other people. And John Malin, we first approached them and we said, we're 2 LLCs. How do we build this? And we want this booth. And they're like, well, you need to get a 10 by 10 or you can get a 20 by 20. And you two put it together. And but for invoice reasons, we can only bill and list 1 LLC. This was how we were navigated to do this by representatives of the commission themselves. We were accused of subleasing, which obviously wasn't the case. We both, me and John, approached Reed and they said we could either get a 10 by 10 or if we wanted a 20 by 20, that we just sit in the same booth and they bill 1 company because they could only make the invoice out to 1 LLC. Again, that was mine. So this was never a problem before when we were just trying to hand them our money and go forward.
So they're basically saying that based on what we are saying in the exhibitor description, that we are showcasing both Ethan Van Sciver and John Malin, which they claim is a violation of agreement. But, again, it's very weird. I believe that exhibitor booths usually have a lot of different guests coming in. Hey, guys, if you're an exhibitor booth, be careful. Apparently, you're not allowed guests anymore.
And in the case of this booth, even John has drawn covers for Glorious Rex and Starlight Cat. So shouldn't he be allowed at the booth? Now, this second part, and this is the part that was really the issue, because I kind of said, well, if you wanted these people to be approved, then you should have said, I need a list of who's getting these badges. And right away, they kind of said, well, it's not just that, it's harassment. We have a no harassment clause at C2E2. And, there have been cases of harassment. And when I tried to say, well, who is the person that's been harassed? They would just speak over me on the phone and raise their voice. Later, we ended up getting all of this in writing in an email, which we don't really feel comfortable right now with people involved and representatives sharing this publicly, but soon it would be, probably. But we will read to you in writing what was said about the harassment.
So C2E2 has this, what they consider a code of conduct, which they expect every participant in any Reed exhibition event to participate in. And they're accusing us of not limited to offensive verbal comments in relation to race, colors, national origins, gender, gender identity, gender presentation, and sexual orientation. Now, see, they are very specific on this being offensive verbal comments. So, now hang on a minute. Let's look at the read policy itself, though, on the website. It says harassment of any kind, including stalking, deliberate intimidation, unwanted physical attention, physical assault, and battery, will not be tolerated at C2E2. At C2E2. So you see, guys, if you manage to punch someone in the face elsewhere, it probably doesn't matter to the people at Read Exhibition because it didn't happen at C2E2. But for some magical reason, we have traveled in time, gone to C2E2, verbally abused someone, and that's why they are rescinding our booth right now, I guess. Maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
It's like a minority report, like premeditated crimes. And guys, we were just trying to do professional business. That's it. That's it. We just want to get a booth. We want to exhibit. We want to get in front of fans of ours from our DC Marvel work and say, hey, here's the books that we have made through crowdfunding. So there has been a history, though, of us being harassed by a guest at C2E2. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and the interesting thing is that the guest this year will also be at C2E2. I guess you guys can tell who it is. Mark Bitchmeat Brooks. He'll be in Artist Alley. In previous year, he has been a guest as well at C2E2. Now, for people who are saying, well, you guys are just trying to pinpoint an enemy that you have, trying to make a sacrifice of somebody at C2E2. Well, not necessarily. See, we actually have proof of violent threats from
this
Brooks
is
himself.
from a while back, like a year ago, right?
Yeah, this is a pretty old video. Now, unfortunately, the original video, which Mark Brooks was in, was taken down. But we have the moment where he basically goes a bit off the rails.
Frogo or like Frogman or something. You believe that was me? Like I would hide under a name.
You, Gabe, Shane, John, if you want to come see me in person, come see me. I'm going to assume if you're standing in front of me that I'm going to take all this weight I've gained and beat your fucking ass. So other than that, stay the fuck away from me.
So guys, here you have it. You have proof that basically Mark Brooks says, if I see all these people here, and he named them, Ethan, John, Shane, and Gabe El-Taib. He said all these names, and he said, if I see you guys, I'm going to beat you up. Now that is a real threat of violence, okay? Right. And for some reason, that is not against the policy of C2E2. Why? Because it didn't happen at C2E2.
The issue is, no, anything we did as far as harassment didn't happen at C2E2 because this would have been our first year at C2E2.
Holding on to your horses, dear. Did you guys even harass anybody at
no,
any other previous exhibition cons? Any?
No. But see, that's the thing with this harassment clause and how it's written to us and how it's written on their website is the term harassment can be used as this really liquid, ambiguous thing that you can just kind of form like putty to any tool you need at any given moment. And in this case, somebody, after us being up on the website for C2E2, 5 weeks out from the con, roughly went through every hoop. They guided us through the paperwork that now they say that we did wrong. We had a representative telling us how to fill it out. We went through multiple hands here. Paid a lot of money that supposedly C2E2 is going to refund us. That I don't know why I can't just get a wire transfer, but maybe the check's in the mail. Who knows if they're stand-up people. But they were able to use harassment as a way just to say, we can form it into a way of just getting you out of here. Even though it's kind of hypocrisy, or, it's okay for Mark Brooks to make a verbal threat to beat people's ass if he sees them at a public Comic Con, whether we be guests or we're just attendees. Think about that. The hypocrisy is C2E2. So what's actually happening here is a type of cancel culture with harassment as a utility. If we are in the time where maybe if I believe that biology is a thing, that a biological man is a man, a biological woman is a woman, that is harassment on somebody who thinks differently. And the reality is just the left can't have a debate. The left can't, they're not open to freedom of thought. And rather than have a conversation, let's cancel people. Is there some power from canceling people? Is this the idea that you guys aren't allowed to work at Marvel and DC anymore? You guys can't be on Kickstarter, get kicked off Kickstarter. You want to go to cons? How about we get you out of there too? The idea is to get us pretty much to a point where we can't produce books, right? I mean, the stuff we were going to that con with is all IP that we have built from the ground up through the magic of crowdfunding. With our backers, with our supporters, we made these intellectual properties come to be. These books come to be. The product we were going to sell was creator-owned projects. Now, you're going to say, well, Shane, you're so evil. You can't be involved in comics anymore. You know, they got to take your books right off the shelf. Just last week, McFarlane Toys is making a Kryptonite Doomsday action figure of me that will be in Walmart's, Target's, online retail, all of this stuff. Am I that bad of a person? Evidently, the comic industry can still trade and sell in Shane Davis wares, but I'm problematic. I may have hypothetically, in some weird way, with no evidence, harass somebody, and I can't be allowed to go to a Comic Con. Just can't. I was a few weeks ago, was no problem. A few days ago, even, was no problem. Today, I'm problematic. Why? Because this upset somebody to see us on the website. Somebody outside of Reed. But that doesn't absolve Reed from this. Actually, I think it's even worse on Reed because Reed went with the complaint, whether it was valid or not, whether they did research or not. The squeaky wheel got the grease, and that was to get rid of us.
Now, I know that some of our backers have actually asked, well, I was going to C2E2 just to see you guys. Now that you guys won't be attending, you've been canceled from this con. What do I do? We would recommend that those of you who are going to C2E2 just to see Shane, Ethan, or John to reach out to Reed Exhibition and tell them, I would like a refund on my C2E2 badge, please, because you canceled the exhibitor, which is the main reason I'm coming down for in the first place.
And if Reed is a company that has any honor at all, fuck being honorable, just has any honor, deep in the couch cushions, dig deep for it, Reed. Refund these people because they were coming to see us. And if you don't want us there, then if they request a refund, give them the refund. If you guys will hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification, let us know what you think about this, and share it out. Tag Reed in it. Get this video out there. And also, Extend Level Up is still up. You can still go back. We're getting ready to cross $111,000. This is the next book to go to print. 9 Lives Comics. And Inglorious Rex is at the printer now. Inglorious Rex 2. And we'll be shipping that fairly soon. I'll leave you guys with a trailer for this smash hit book. Catch you guys again with another video.
I dream of a world carefully crafted, beautifully flawed. This is Axcend. In this game of life, there is one thing that determines a victor. A player's ability to grow. A player's ability to evolve. A player's ability to survive. My name is Dog. Choose to play. Choose to upgrade. Choose to level up. Choose to Axcend.